YouTube, welcome back for another series review of season 4, episode 3. So, the episode starts out, everyone's getting picked up by the feds. Julio, Dre, Keisha, and they're bringing them in to question. So, Sax is questioning Julio, we're gonna call that boy Julio, just racist, just ignorant. And Julio's not giving Ghost up. He said, man, Ghost is, he asked to do a favor for me to get me out of this gang, and he brought me in, and I work under his washing post, and I am clean now, and thank you to Ghost. So then we see Dre, and Dre's giving him the same the YMCA speech that, you know, Ghost could have made his money and got out of the hood, but he didn't. He came back to help people like us that messed up. So then we get to Keisha, and guess who's interviewing her? Angela. And I'm like, for all the people that could have interviewed Keisha, they brought Angela in to question, and she's asking Keisha all these questions about how was Angela or Tasha's and Ghost's marriage, and did you know that Tasha had pawned her ring or sold her ring, and Jamie was sleeping on the couch, and Keisha gave her every bit of, well, you know the answers to this. I don't even know why you asking me. So it was very tense, and Keisha had an attitude, but you slept with my homegirl's husband, so I'm not going to sit up here and give you ammunition against them. Why are you asking me these questions? So we get back to Tasha's condo, and it's Tasha, Keisha, Proctor, and we get introduced to a new character, Terry Silver, who's going to be helping Proctor get Ghost charges dismissed from this case. So they're asking Keisha, so mind you, Proctor and Silver, they didn't know that anyone had got picked up by the cops. So they're asking Keisha, what did they say? What do they want? And Keisha's going on, telling them that they asked her questions about the marriage, and she is just mad. She didn't understand why Angela would do that. And Tasha popped up, because Angela's a bitch. And then Silver goes, well, actually, and Proctor's like, hold on, I got it. Proctor's like, the reason that they are asking you these questions because you can dismiss spousal confidentiality if the marriage is not sustainable. So if they can prove that this is more of a business union than a marriage, then they can tell you they can prosecute you to testify against Jamie, and if you don't, you can go to jail. And if Tasha start talking, it's gonna be a real big problem, because Tasha know where the bodies are buried. So then we get to Tommy dropping the kids off at school, Rena and Tyreek. And Tommy's trying to talk to Tyreek, and Tyreek is not having it. I'm like, I know my dad did that. I'm not trying to hear that. He's a lie. My mama lie. And Tommy looked at him. He's like, go to school. Learn something. So Tyreek gets to school, and Rena's walking down the hallway, and these same bullies from the football team run up on her, and out of nowhere, Tyreek brush up on him and push him up in the wall. Don't you ever talk to my sister like that. And then he looked at Rena. He said, you tell the office that I'm not feeling well. I went home sick. And as he walked away, he jumped at the little boy. I was like, look at Tyreek. Now, I'm not here for all this cussing and cutting school and stealing and drinking and stuff. But stand up for his sister, that was really good, because them white boys, they still trying to, poke the bear with Rena. I think because she's weaker or smaller, that they can do whatever they want. But when Tyreek come around, they straighten all that up. So I like that that aspect of him stepping into his manhood. But all this other stuff, he can leave that at the door. So, Rena runs after him, and she's like, you're going to get in trouble. You can't be skipping school like this. We have to be good for Dad. And Tyreek is like, you know what? I ain't thinking about Dad. He wasn't thinking about us when he was doing all this drug things and killing cops. And you ever thought about that? The club got shot up. Sean's dead. You're supposed to be the smart one, Rena. Wake up. Look around, see what's going on. What he's trying to say is everything's not what it seems. He goes, why do you think they ain't never took us back to the old neighborhood? Because they hiding something, they lying. And the boy got a point. They try to protect him. And I found this out as I've gotten older. The more you try to protect someone, the more they're going to be exposed. So it's best off being honest. It's rather to tell the truth and stay down the ground and climb a tree and tell a lie. So like I told you, we got a new lawyer, Terry Silver, and he is doing this for the money. But I think he gets off embarrassing individuals who don't earn their success in the most honest way. So, for example, Proctor, he was getting all into his business. Why are you so faithful to James St. Patrick's, and why are you treating them with kid gloves and have the concierge approach with them? And Proctor's like, because I represented, them, and Tommy, he couldn't tell them because they're giving me dope for my wife. So that's the best way I can pay them back, is to give them good law service. They keep me stocked up. They give me my re-up. But he's like, I represented Tommy in that case. He's like, whoa, you represented Tommy? That's a conflict of interest. And Proctor said, listen, I don't need no walking bar board. Basically, I don't need no one, trying to coach me every time I do something that may not be in the most ethical light, and I twist the words around to make it right. So I got my eye on Terry. And then when Terry meets Ghost, this is the first thing he says, did you do it? I'm like, what kind of lawyer does that? Like, no kind of phase. Obviously, you're just here for the check, Silver. So we're going to see where that goes. So in the meantime, between time, we see Teresi. Teresi is the inmate that I think is Tommy's daddy, okay? So Teresi done did a background check on James, and he done got word and got a phone through an Oreo cookie delivery that James Egan used to run with this cat named Ghost. And he done pieced together that James St. Patrick's is Ghost. So he done ran up on James, and he's like, listen, he's talking some noise to him, and he said, you pop that guy's wrist like it's nothing, you're trying to hide something. Isn't that right? Ghost. I mean, James got shook. He shook it off at first, like, you got the wrong person. I said, I tell you what, if you don't do something for me, I'm gonna tell my little cheat lawyer that that I know that you're Ghost and I got some proof. And this is when Ghost lost it. He's like, what proof? I'm not gonna tell you that. You just need to do what I say. And Ghost is like, what's your price? He said, I want $20,000 a week delivered to his address to help him with his wife's illness. And Ghost is like, okay. So Ghost goes back to Proctor and tells him this. And he's like, listen, we got a problem. And Proctor's like, we can't handle anything else. I said, somebody can call me Ghost. And Proctor's like, what? I said, I need you to find out everything you can on this Teresi cat. Proctor goes get the information, comes back and tells Ghost, hey, Teresi is not what you want. He's been affiliated with all kind of murders and conspiracies, and he's around this such and such gang, and it's best that you go ahead and take care of him. So Ghost is like, listen, reach under my sleeve. There's the address. I need you to tell Tom to drop $20,000 off to this man's house. And in the meantime, I think Ghost's wheels are turning. How can I get this situated? So this is what really set the episode off for me. This had me out of my chair talking about some what? Ghost, while he was in that meeting with Proctor and Silver, Angela came up in there trying to get Ghost to confess. Talking about, Ghost, if you just confess that you killed James, I would do anything and everything that I can to get you off and get your sentence reduced. Not get you off, but get your sentence reduced and keep you alive so you can be here for your children. Ghost gave her every bit of, I don't trust you, and I'm not finna confess to nothing that I didn't do. Jamie, you know you did this. He said, no, I know what I'm doing for my family. And she goes, well, we both know that when it comes to your family, nothing matters. I'm like, girl, she's gonna get hemmed up. When I tell you that is coming this season, Angela is gonna get hemmed up. And, it's not going to be pretty. And I hope it's not quick like they did Milan. Hope they don't get him up out of here like they did. Get her out of here like they did Milan, excuse me. I mean, she was just, it's better, and she noticed. Like, for example, she was sitting at the table with Mock and Sandoval and them. And he asked her, he said, tell me, Angela Valdez, do you know St. Patrick? Do you think he did this? He did it. Now, when have you ever known Ghost to kill somebody? When? Not never. Let alone be messy and leave the gun at the club and DNA all under his hands and fingerprints on the window. And you mean tell me half of the evidence you found. So speaking of the DNA, so we get to a hearing. Proctor is all up Silver's ass talking about some, listen, I'm not here for you. You're not here to be my bar patrol. You know what I'm saying? My lawyer patrol. I need you to go find this traffic stop so we can get this DNA thrown out. I've already submitted the motion to dismiss the DNA, okay? We get to the courtroom, and Proctor's making his statement saying we have evidence that the DNA came from, not from a struggle, but from Greg Knox pulling James St. Patrick's over and roughing him up while he was trying to frisk him. And Mock is like, this is unfounded. There's no justification or proof that this is this. And Proctor's like, I'm glad you said that, because we have their cell phones pinging from the same tower at the same time of this traffic accident. Clip. Clip. So they play that tape, and the judge is like, I understand, this is circumstantial, but we're not going to throw out the DNA. And Proctor's like, it's not that serious, because Valdez told him that she knew about the traffic stop. And he called Valdez, Mock, and Proctor up to the podium, the stand. And he asked Valdez, he's like, did you know about this traffic stop? And she don't give him an eye roll and turn to Mock. And Mock, man, pussied out. Oh, yeah, she did. We just didn't think it was, necessary to go ahead and pursue it. And the judge's like, well, since you didn't think it was necessary, I'm going to go ahead and throw it out. So Proctor goes back. They get the DNA thrown out. So that's a win, finally. I'm like, this is a good time to be like, okay, let's get into the Bell hearing, because the Bell hearing was based on the DNA and the fingerprints. Oh, and mind you, let's go back. The reason why the judge was so reasonable with letting that DNA go was because Sachs had went to him in the scene before, and he has met with Beecher, his homeboy. I don't know his name in the show, but Beecher that plays on Oz. And Beecher told him he got a recording of Tommy admitting to the murder of Lobos with Ghost. And he done went to the judge and said, well, hypothetically, Judge, if I had a hypothetical recording of a hypothetical conversation, what would be the hypothetical result? And the judge told him every much, get the hell up out of my chamber. You can't give me that inadmissible mess in my courtroom. So that's what made the judge privy to the prosecution doing things that were not ethical. And that's why he was willing to hear Proctor out on getting the DNA released, okay? So, they get the DNA dropped, and Proctor goes back. This is what I'm saying. I would have asked for an immediate bail hearing, but he didn't. He asked for the charges to be dismissed. And come on now, Proctor. They still got the gun. They still got the fingerprints, so they're not going to be able to dismiss that immediately. So anyway, back at the ranch, Tommy to open him up a little pseudo casino down in the warehouse. Got people playing poker, watching boxing fights, and dealing product. And what the feds don't know is that Tommy is privy to them to staking out outside the warehouse. So Tommy is running drugs inside of a moving van so they don't see him, but the product is still being moved. Julio comes and tells Tommy at the beginning of the episode that he got pulled over brought in by the feds, but he didn't say nothing. Dre later in the episode comes and tells Tommy the same thing. He's like, you know what? Me and Julio got pulled up by the feds, but Julio, no lie, was in there a whole lot longer than I was. And Tommy's like, you know what? I appreciate that information, but I already knew. And he's like, Julio wants to stop the drug money. And Tommy's like, nah. He's like, no, I got you. Dre's like, I got you. My bottle system is on lock. Let me keep running. Tommy's like, cool. Tommy gonna kill Julio. Then he gonna kill Drake. But he gonna kill Julio first, because Julio's not stepping to the plate at all. You're supposed to be the distributor, and you're letting people run over. You're stopping the movement of product. You can't do that. Want to be Ghost? You can't. He's not ready. Dre may be ready, but Dre in bed with Cannon, so that's gonna mess him up. But we'll see where that's gonna go. So I mentioned that Beecher's back, and he went and talked to Sachs, and he's trying to get his name clear. They actually brought him in for questioning, and then told Sandoval and Mock that it wasn't Greg Knox that was the lead. It was Angela. He had a recording. They told him he told him about some evidence. He didn't tell him it was a recording. Some evidence of the tape that Ruiz had got for Greg Knox, and that he thought that Angela was the lead. He's going to prove it. And he straight up asked Sandoval. He said, "So why did he call you?" We never got an answer to that. So then later in the episode, Sandoval rolls up on him at a bar, and he's like, you know what? I think we need to sit down and talk about, because he's trying to get Angela convicted. And we need to talk about getting Angela proven to be the leak. And, Sandoval's all about that. And Beach is all about that, too, because that's all Greg Knox was talking about, getting Angela convicted and James and Tommy convicted. So he's like, okay, we'll see. He's like, so Sandoval's like, what's the evidence that you have? Beecher ain't stupid. He's like, this ain't the right time or place. I'll get back with you. And when Sandoval left, we see Beecher pulled up Sandoval's file, so he's investigating everybody. Beecher, he might be the one to crack the case, but we'll see. I want him to get a little check after Oz. So, after all this, Terry, Silver, and Ghost finally meet up in the jail cell. Not finally, but on a one-on-one. Because Silver wants to know what's this dichotomy between Proctor and Ghost and Tommy, and why is Proctor so faithful to these drug dealers. Mind you, Silver looks down on Tommy and Ghost because he thinks that they went the cheap route to get success again, and he thinks that they're really criminals. They just need to admit to it. So he tells Ghost, he goes, I know who you really are. And Ghost is like, what's that? You're wearing an orange jumpsuit, and that's where the episode ends. So we end there. Hey, listen, she got to go. Angela got to go, but I don't want her just to go. They throw off a cliff or something. I want her to suffer because she knows that James is innocent, and she's just trying to stick to her story so she can be a part of the Good Boys team and clear her name and get in good with the FBI or whatever. Silver, as much as I don't like him, I think he's going to be good for Ghost's character. You ever had that person that you just don't... He's like the antagonist in a wrestling storyline. The antagonist always makes the protagonist better because they antagonize, and that makes them be on their feet and makes them be a better person so they can outsmart their opponent. So he may play an influential part in making Ghost a better person. Tariq is turning to a gangster. And he's coming well into who he is. I really think that's who he really is a bad boy or a delinquent. And he's finally getting the opportunity to show his true colors. But that is my review of Power. I'll be back next week. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye.